Get your gas filled up as we take a road trip with the volleyball and soccer teams. And then an exclusive interview with your favorite Cougar quarterback. I'm Antwan Smith, and this is In the Game. The UH volleyball and soccer teams will travel to play the same school this weekend in what was an eventful 3 days for UH sports. The Cougar volleyball team opened their 5-game road swing Friday night with only playing 4 games with a total of 98-71 as the Cougs fell to ECU. Just 2 days later, the Cougs will travel north to take on Cincinnati. They would take a heartbreaking loss as Cincinnati would not allow any wins for the volleyball girls as they fell 0-3 with a total of 75-41. The Cougs currently sit with a 13-6 record with an 0-4 record in the AAC Conference. Now we move along to the Cougar soccer team as they put up a hard-fought victory over ECU, 3-2. Both teams played amazing defense as the game was forced to head into a double overtime. It would be the duo of Natalie Anderson and Jasmine Grant connecting to score a golden goal to put the game to an end. The Cougs would get a 2-day rest before taking on Cincinnati in what was also a hard-fought game. In fact, the match would end in a draw as both teams will only surrender a single goal in the match. Mia Brasia was able to put the Cougs on the board with her second goal of the season. The Cougar soccer team continues putting on amazing performances this season as they celebrate 20 years of UH soccer. The Cougar football team was off on a Saturday with a bye week after a victory versus Texas Southern. With the team preparing for their first conference game, our very own Paloma Alatorre sat down with Houston quarterback D'Eric King for a one-on-one conversation.
All right, joined here by Houston quarterback D'Eric King. D'Eric, you're born and raised in Houston. At the beginning of your recruiting process a couple years back, you had a lot of top schools looking at you, but you still chose to stay in your city. What's it like for you?
Man, I love it. I love every minute of it. Just staying home and playing in front of my friends and family, it's a blessing, so I'm enjoying a lot right now.
You've had an impressive season so far. The talk on King is all about how big of a threat you've become as a starting quarterback. You got coaches talking about you, describing you as like relentless, fast, dynamic. Has this season been what you've expected so far?
Yeah, I think it has. I would always like to be 4-0, but so far it's been a pretty good season. We just got to keep getting better and developing as a team.
So the past couple years, you've been switching on and off with receiver and quarterback. How has that transition been for you now, just focusing on one position?
Yeah, I think it's been huge. Just focus on one position. You have more time to understand and learn about your position. So just not playing as many positions, it always helps me in the long run.
So everyone has a different style of leadership. Who would you compare yourself to in the NFL?
I would say Russell Wilson. I kind of take after him a lot. He's a great leader, but he's not the big emotional screamer type guy. He's going to show you what to do and expect you to do it, so this kind of guy.
So we've gotten to know you a lot on the field, but people want to know what you're like off the field. So I'm going to throw you some more personal questions, okay? All right, so Instagram or Twitter?
That's a big one. Say Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Apple white or bride? Just kidding, you don't have to respond.
That's a tough one. I like them both.
What would you be doing if you weren't playing football?
My brother just graduated in healthcare administration, so he's in that field, so I'll probably be doing the same thing.
All right, well, thank you for being here with me, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
With conference play coming up, D'Eric King looks to continue his amazing performance as he has thrown for 1,197 yards with 15 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Next, we go to our studio reporter, Andrea Agee, with a preview of next week's UH athletic events.
Thanks, Antwan. On Thursday, October 4th, the women's soccer team will be facing off against Memphis in Houston at noon. There is also a big home game for the football team against Tulsa at 7 p.m. This will be the first conference game of the season for Houston. If the Cougars win, they will likely take the #1 spot in the American West. On Friday, the women's tennis team will start a 3-day tournament in Dallas. The women's volleyball team will also be in Dallas, taking on SMU. Saturday and Sunday, the softball team will be playing Lamar and Texas Tech, starting at 3 p.m. on Saturday, and 11:30 a.m. on Sunday in Houston. Also on Sunday in Houston, the women's soccer team will be taking on Tulsa at 1 p.m. So, get your tickets and go cheer on our Cougs. I'm Andrea Agee, and this has been your weekly sports preview.
Thank you, Andrea. For more info about the game against Tulsa, as well as other Cougar sports, go to uhcougars.com and don't forget to like and subscribe to Coug TV for more episodes of In the Game and other shows. For everyone here at In the Game, I'm Antwan Smith. See you next week.